Animal control shelter has been criticized by some animal lovers over the past few months who raise questions about conditions at the shelter and how it is managed. CBS 7's Matt Rist has been digging for the past few weeks and found the city is making changes. Matt, tell us what you've seen and what you've learned.
Tatum, tonight's vigil is the latest in what has been a string of public complaints made against the shelter. But we wanted to start from the beginning to show you what's really happening behind closed doors. Dog after dog after dog. The shelter picks up more than 7,000 animals each year. Odessa Animal Control Officer Ken Vogel starts his day by checking his truck.
You check out your unit, make sure you have everything you need so you can go.
Then he hits the road.
There's an element of danger to your job?
Oh, definitely. We're out here to protect the people from strays because no one wants to walk down the street with their child and have a dog come after them.
Hours later, and Vogel is on the hunt for a stray dog, which quickly turns into as many as 6 stray pooches.
We hit the mother load.
It's a sign of just how high the stray animal population is in Odessa. Since Animal Control stopped answering county calls, they average more than 400 calls each month.
The biggest thing is 2 things. Number 1, spay and neuter your pets. That way we don't have the overpopulation. And take responsibility. Come get your animal when it's at the shelter.
That sentiment is also shared by those criticizing the shelter.
People have to spay and neuter their dogs. They have to.
Holly Dool is one of nearly 1,000 Odessans who signed a petition demanding changes at the shelter, focusing on poor conditions and a lack of a staff veterinarian.
I think there's obviously some issues with cleanliness.
Cleanliness is an issue the city says it takes seriously. According to police records, the shelter has in fact passed its state inspection in 2012 and 2013. It also received a satisfactory rating in its veterinarian report for both years.
It's very clean, it's orderly, and it's run well.
Many mornings, Dool stands outside the shelter waiting for it to open. She comes almost daily on behalf of a rescue group to take dogs out of the shelter and into homes. This morning, she meets a woman dropping off a puppy.
What do I do with it? Do we have a foster?
After a few phone calls, she finds him a home before the shelter even opens. Dool says she tries to keep as many dogs out of the shelter as possible.
It's your lucky day! It's your lucky day!
Unfortunately, this dog had to be put down from illness before it was rescued. Many she's taken in have come down with distemper, a deadly neurological disease, easily spread by contact.
They said there are some changes being made. Yeah, I understand all that, but at the same time, dogs and cats are dying because they're moving too slow.
According to 2 separate local veterinarian letters dated November 5th and sent to Odessa police, the vets noted a, quote, significant increase in the number of parvo and distemper cases in animals from the shelter. But again, it was not noted in recent veterinarian reports. While inspections show no cleanliness issues, the chief of police says changes are on the way.
As of October 1st, we became solely responsible for the confines of city limits.
That has not met since 2006 might help deal with some of these problems. Just tell us why that committee hasn't met.
There's really no excuse for why the committee hasn't met. Sort of became something that fell out of sight in terms of certainly management here at the police department.
According to a 2012 list of advisory committee members, City Council member Roger McNeil, County Commissioner Freddie Gardner, Police Chief Burton, and Humane Society member Del Neesmith are among its members.
I didn't figure I was on that committee, due to the length of time.
Do you think that if this committee were meeting regularly, do you think we'd still be having the problems citizens are coming to you guys with?
Yes, I think that the same thing would have occurred because prior to recently, the expectation of shelter services was that we provide a safe, clean, sanitary environment where animals were treated humanely and lawfully. And there was not a great emphasis or demand on adoption services or those kinds of things. The expectation of the public has now changed.
Neesmith, who operates the Odessa Humane Society shelter, disagrees, saying the public outcry is more than just a change in expectations.
I think the changes are made because people is getting tired of the procedures up there.
There is no enforcement authority written into the code, so there is no way to ensure the committee meets. The chief says the committee is slated to meet this year. Back at the shelter, Duel makes the rounds, taking pictures of some animals in hopes of finding them homes. She and others network dogs across Texas to keep strays from being put down. The rate of euthanization is a key point of Duel's online petition.
For the people that love animals, we need to make it easier for animals to be adopted.
According to records, nearly 6,000 animals were euthanized in 2013. The city says just 391 were adoptable.
Ideally, would we love to, find a home for every single animal that came into the shelter? Sure we would. As a practical matter, are we able to do that? No, we're not.
There are some changes on the way. The shelter says it just recently started scanning for microchips on all of its animals. It will soon place chips in dogs adopted out and is considering hiring an adoption liaison and a vet technician. In the studio, I'm Matt Rist, CBS 7 News.